Massive changes are coming to the New York Knicks roster and their rotation as a report has revealed a huge update in regards to two young players in Kevin McCullar Jr. and also Tyler Kolek, who will have an impact on this as well. And we're going to break all this down as this will also have a major impact on Leon Rose's free agency upcoming as well. So we're going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're enjoying the content and you're part of that 69% that's not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to Knicks Digest. This is the place to be for all New York Knicks news, rumors, injury updates, really fun live streams. You guys don't want to miss out, but let's jump into the video as always. Also, thank you guys for 12,000 subscribers. We're getting to 14,000 before the playoffs, I surely hope, but there's changes coming to Tom Thibodeau's rotation and potentially his rotation for years to come. Now, very quickly, yes, that means Tom Thibodeau is not getting fired over the offseason. Be very surprised to see Tom Thibodeau get fired. He's very close with Leon Rose. It feels like it's heavily unlikely. Maybe if they lose in the first round, he might be on the hot seat a little bit, but Tom Thibodeau is going to be around here next season, and with all that happening, it is important to note that some changes will be coming to the rotation and the roster in a general sense. And one of the guys who's been highlighted recently is playing very well in the G League, and Kevin McCullar Jr. Kevin McCullar Jr. recently recovered from a knee injury, then went down with a calf injury, and now has recovered from that, and is looking very solid in the NBA G League, and that has a lot of fans wanting Kevin McCullar to get his chance in the NBA. Now, he's on a two-way contract for the Knicks, but that's going to become a guaranteed deal. They just have him on a two-way right now because he was recovering from an injury and they didn't want to use up a roster spot for that. So he will get a longer-term deal over the offseason, which is important to note here. But he was picked 56th overall this past draft, so the Knicks like him a lot. He was going to go in the first round before he went down with an injury, and then he slipped and kept slipping and kept slipping, and that helped out the New York Knicks a lot, so they could get an absolute steal in KMJ. On top of that, they drafted really well at the end of the draft with both Kevin McCullar Jr. and Ariel Hukporti being there. Now, Pacome Dadier specifically might not end up being in the rotation next season because he is young and the Knicks are going to bring him along very slowly. However, KMJ, Tyler Kolek, Ariel Hukporti, they're all older. And Ian Begley talked about McCullar and just his chances of being in next year's rotation. And he said he thinks it's unlikely that this season or next season KMJ will play meaningful minutes, but there is a pathway for him to do so. Three Knicks who play meaningful minutes off the bench this season: Precious Achiuwa, Cameron Payne, and Landry Shamet will be free agents this summer. The Knicks have Achiuwa's bird rights, but they don't have bird rights on Payne or Shamet, so they would have to use an exception to sign either player. I think all three of those guys are leaving, if you ask me. I have a feeling literally all three of them are going to be off the team. That is my assumption on what is going to happen right now. Because Leon Rose, him and his Knicks front office, they know that they're close to that second apron that they do not want to go into. They're not allowed to go in it right now, but by next offseason, by the upcoming offseason, I mean, they will be able to go into it. However, they still don't want to because they know all the restrictions that it gives you, and the Knicks don't want to be restricted like that. And Brock Gallagher, their salary cap guy, the assistant GM, is an absolute monster when it comes to just being a salary cap wizard. He's one of the best in the world at it. He might be the best salary cap guy in the NBA. So, obviously, the man's very talented, and the Knicks are going to do a good job at avoiding that. And I think one of the things they're going to do is not re-sign Precious Achiuwa. Achiuwa's been up and down, but the Knicks don't really... They'll have Mitchell Robinson, who I think they're going to trade over the offseason, but they'll also have Ariel Hukporti, and they'll be able to sign another power forward who could play solid defense as well. So, it's not like that's the end of the world. Also, on top of that, they do have young players who they could pay cheaper deals to so they could avoid that second apron and maybe find a bigger team need than what Achiuwa brings to the table. I like Precious Achiuwa personally, but I think the Knicks are going to look at him and decide, hey, we need something that fits better, like a scorer off the bench, something like that, maybe a 3 or D guy, someone with a bit of shot creation as well is probably the hope. So we'll see how that goes with the New York Knicks over the offseason as well. However, taking a look at it, they do have some nice rookies that they could step in there, and two of the most important ones are Kevin McCullar Jr. and also Tyler Kolek. Now, Begley didn't talk about Kolek a bunch here, but he did talk just about how all the Knicks rookies have this chance, saying the Knicks team salary is on the precipice of the second apron if they want to save money, playing a young guy like McCullar, Ariel Hukporti, and or Tyler Kolek instead of re-signing a veteran is the way to go. Obviously, this Knicks team wants to win a championship, so the club would have to be very confident that one of the rookies or multiple of the rookies could thrive in a rotation role. Now, I'll say one thing. I fully interpret this as Tyler Kolek is next year's point guard. I don't think the Knicks are going to re-sign Cameron Payne. I think they're going to go the cheaper route. Use Tyler Kolek as the backup. Kolek isn't just any rookie. He's been in college for a long time prior to being in the NBA. He's 23 years old. He's not 19-year-old Dadier. He's 23. The man is NBA ready. He's just behind a bunch of point guards. And that's the constant question. When is Tyler Kolek going to play? Why isn't Tyler Kolek playing? Because of Jalen Brunson, Cameron Payne, and Deuce McBride. There's nowhere to play Tyler Kolek right now. And they're going to go with the veterans over the rookies because the veterans are all more proven. So they're going to roll with that. And then next season, I fully expect Tyler Kolek to be the backup point guard with Deuce in the backcourt as well with him. We've seen Deuce McBride and Jalen Brunson work really well together. And on top of that, Tyler Kolek is very similar to Jalen Brunson. They play a very similar style. They both are very crafty lefties who can work in that middle area very well. Have a nice floater, can spot up, can also play on and off the ball. Great playmaking skill, great eye for the ball. Very confident at attacking the rim and using their craftiness to draw fouls or lay it up. On top of that, very, very good at just hitting a spot-up three as well. So, essentially, Kolek is going to be next year's backup point guard. I'm convinced, and I think next one will be Deuce McBride. It's a way to save a bit of money from Cameron Payne, so you could use elsewhere on that mid-level exception signing. Meanwhile, on top of that, I also could expect them to use one of Ariel Huckporty or Kevin McCullar Jr. as well. If the Knicks keep around Mitchell Robinson, Huckporty will probably ride the bench for another year, and then they might play Kevin McCullar Jr. I actually kind of expect them to because look, KMJ, he plays like Josh Hart, and you know he's a Tom Thibodeau guy because he plays like Josh Hart. He's also 6'7", is a real do-it-all type guy as well. So just taking a look at Kevin McCullar's numbers, he's only averaging 8 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist, but this is only because he played 3 games. He's actually looked very, very good in the time that he's gotten minutes, and I think it's important to note that he's going to be someone who's going to have a positive impact on this New York Knicks team for a long time to come, and I fully expect him to be someone who the Knicks value. And on top of that, you look at a guy like Tyler Kolek, this guy's going to get minutes. I mean, 20.5 points in the G League, along with 5 rebounds and 9 assists, shooting well from both the field and from three-point range. The man is the front runner to get some minutes for the Knicks. The Knicks really like him. They wanted to pick him in the first round, but if they picked him in the second round, they could pay him less money, even though he is the highest paid second-round pick of all time. That's just going to change next season anyway, so it's not even a big deal. Salary cap is always going up. Meanwhile, Ariel Huckporty has gotten the most play out of any of the Knicks rookies this season, the 58th and the last pick in the draft. Huckporty has played in 24 games, putting up 1.7 points and 2 rebounds per game, but he's playing inconsistent minutes. So these numbers, they are low, but a lot of his minutes have been inconsistent, as I just mentioned, so it's important to realize that it'll all be fine. I do think Huckporty is the Knicks' future backup center, so they could trade Mitchell Robinson and free up more money. But we could see 3 Knicks rookies as sophomores in the back of the rotation next year with a more established guy, maybe 2 more established guys, and then 2 of them. I would guess it's going to be Huckporty and Tyler Kolek, but KMJ is playing very well in the G League, and it's important to note that he very likely could find his way there, but Kolek is a guarantee, if you ask me, to be the Knicks' backup point guard next season, and I would not be shocked at all to see Ariel Huckporty as well in that role. But it's all going to be based on how Leon Rose kind of plans out this offseason and free agency. I would like to see the Knicks give Kevin McCullar a shot now. He's older, he's a good defender, he moves well with and without the ball. He just does all those Tom Thibodeau things that you'd like to see, and it gives the Knicks some more defense in their backcourt, and it gives them a 6'7" guy you could use in exchange for Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and Josh Hart, giving them all a bit more rest while they're dealing with some minor injuries. Not really Mikal as much, but OG still coming off that foot injury, and Josh Hart dealing with a nagging knee injury. It would be helpful. However, I'd be pretty surprised to see Tom Thibodeau do that. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks. Let's get to 14K before the playoffs.